All right, y'all. So let's get into evolution. So we're always constantly evolving. There is no such thing as stopping evolution. So by evolution, we're always utilizing our mind. There is no such thing as stopping to think. There is no such thing as um, pausing your mind, because you're always using your mind. Even if you're not thinking of something, you're always wandering. Your mind is always wandering and expanding in some way, shape, or form. Even if you're sleeping, you're having dreams, you're having some type of mental experience, some type of, it's like just, you're always constantly trying to maintain a mentality, but you're always thinking about something, even if you're not trying. So every second, every minute, all the way down to the days, the weeks, the years, we're constantly doing this. So this is part of the evolutionary cycle of how we go about day to day. When we go through the seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter, these accumulations of thoughts that we have, even if you're not thinking, these wandering thoughts, these ideas and concepts that we go through every second, every minute, is a fluid, is a time fluid that we just go through. If you catch my drift. So we're always going with the flow in this astral travel, in this mental travel, because we are not the body. We are a spirit utilizing our mind, and our mind is accumulating these ideas and concepts from your perspective, from your space. But this is what everybody is doing. So teamwork makes the dream work. Everybody's spaces come together and create a world. And this is what we're doing as spirits together, creating this world. And every second, every minute of how we utilize our mind is how we utilize our space. And we are playing our part from the overall perspective of the bigger space that we are inside of. So it's like we are ants inside of a bigger world, or cells inside of a bigger body, which is God. But I'm not going to get into all that because that's just too much. But you need to understand, when we go through the seasons, our temperament is always changing. When we are at the springtime, we feel like a new version of ourselves. It's the beginning of something new. You see the grass. You see things blooming. Things are growing. You start to see new things come into this world. Spring is when something grows and it blooms, and it's the beginning of something. So within us, it starts as something new, some type of a fresh start, a fresh mentality, a fresh feeling. It gives us that inspiration to start a new chapter in some way, shape, or form. But this is what spirit is doing, is coming up with, is being passionate about something, is being all about the self, is like driven and stuff like that. And spring is when Aries starts, the first house, which is all about being passionate, all about the self-sufficient, you know, and, you know, just utilizing your character to bring something new in. It's just a new personality, a new self that we're developing in spring, because it's all about the growth. So yeah, and when it comes to summer, we peak whatever growth we are going through. It's some sort of expansion that, you know, we utilize to feel free, to feel the waters, you know, to feel the connection of, you know, the flood. You know, summer is all about experiences and, you know, going out there and seeing, just living, and, you know, you get to see all the beautiful things outside, and you see that, you feel that as within too, when we are experiencing these seasons, because it does affect us as within, so without, because we are part of our environment. And you might say that sounds pseudo, because what if that happened? What if we're in a different geographical location? That's not summer, but a different season. It all plays out in percentage level, but every part of the world is going to play out spring, summer, fall, and winter in its own percentage level. So people got to realize that the transits, the sun and the moon, all have its own position in the world, and we all go about it differently, but we all go through the same seasons. So when we go through fall, is something that we have to let go, and something that, you know, you see the things start decaying and falling off the trees. You know, that means it has already peaked and it's starting to fall. So this means that internally, as spirits, we have to start letting go. We start letting go of things that no longer serves us, things that we learned from the summer, things, you know, characteristics and virtues and principles and experiences that we went through the summer. These are things that we want to hold on to ourselves and attach to ourselves. And there are things that will no longer serve us, and we have to let that fall. And that's where fall begins. And it all affects us the same way, but differently, because we're all going through our own experiences and shit like that. So when it comes to fall, you know, this is like, you know, beginning to see internally things that, you know, that we have to let go, and, you know, we start decaying in that sense. So there's no such thing as aging. Is just going through expansion and letting go. So it's like death, rebirth, it's birth, death, and rebirth as spirits, because, you know, it doesn't always have to be physical death, but a spiritual death, and that's letting go of certain things that no longer serves us, and it plays out physical too. So when it comes to winter, this is when, you know, we undergo through transformation and death, and things that, you know, we have to get ready for the spring, and give birth to new things again. So it's a cycle again. You know, we develop new things, new ideas, and new imaginations, new ways of how to go about our day-to-day life, and how to relate and associate. And this is our growth that we go through every year, every 360 cycle of the seasons. So you know, a lot of people might not be aware of this, but when we are in spring, we have a different feeling than when you are in summer, fall, and winter. You know, when you're in spring, you want to be outside, you want to be all giddy and shit. You know, you want to be traveling. And in the summer, you feel that way even more. You want to experience and connect and just talk to people and, you know, go out there and just experience life. That's how we feel. And when it's fall, you know, things start getting a little bit cold and more reserved, and you know, it's like sitting back and trying to see our experiences and what we were going through from spring and summer. And you know, when winter comes, that's a cold feeling. You feel even more reserved. And you know, it's a time to stay inside because it's getting cold. And this is how it's playing out spiritually. And it's gonna be like that any part of the world, but even if it's in a hot climate, if it's still winter there, it's gonna play out in a smaller percentage level. It just depends where you're at. But yeah, we need to realize that seasons affect us, and how it affects our mood and our temperament, because we are creating this reality from within. And I'm gonna just leave it at that, and I'll catch you later. Peace.